Moving on to the fifth, neglecting relationships. Okay, I need a little setup here to show how this relates to times. Things are actually worse than just wasting time and being inefficient of the time, the things that we've already covered. There's an opportunity cost of weakened and or completely lost relationships that is really, really hurtful for both the child and the parents. So my wife and I had met at business school. We were aligned on family values, and for this reason, it was very easy to support her when she said she wanted to stay home with our firstborn. And she didn't just stay home. We went all in. We decided we were going to survive on a single income, and we were going to homeschool. And that was huge. It felt like we were on a deserted island. We had pushback from our respective sides of the family, and the society pushback was challenging too, until we found like-minded parents in the homeschooling community. So real quick here, the irony is that from those who champion pro-choice slogans, they're the same people who vilify conservatives for their personal life choices. I think it's more disturbing than funny. In generations past, it was acceptable for women to choose family over a career. It was even encouraged. Today, it is discouraged by a large portion of the population, including teachers and counselors. Women who pursue being a mom are labeled as extreme, weird, or abused, and men who support a woman staying at home to raise children risk being called misogynistic. So to sense how strong the culture is, look at what the fans say, like what happens with fans, people who supposedly support some famous actress. So Lisa Bonet, Sandra Bullock, Uma Thurman, Cameron Diaz, Elizabeth Hurley, there are actresses who were at the top of their game, made a full pivot to being a mom. Look at how they were treated by their fans. It is not nice language. They were not treated nicely. There's others like Taylor Swift, Jennifer Lawrence, who are going to continue their careers, but their family is number one, career is number two. So the responses can be subtle and demeaning. They might mean like trad wife, traditional wife, or they also say things like wasted time, Hollywood tragedy. They are clearly implying that the careers are more important than family. So this video today is not meant to get into the politics. That is not the point of that. So I want to make sure I clarify my point on this. I am not saying a woman's place is in the home. I am saying it is her choice. And society should not guilt, bully, or ridicule women who choose that path. The decision about staying home and children is profoundly important and relevant to our discussion about education and time. Our education system is designed such that children spend more of their awake hours away from their parents than with them. So again, just like I did with the other ones, I'll do some napkin math to demonstrate this. We're going to have connected time and unconnected time. So first of all, you got to account for sleep. And we're going to say that parents are working a 9-to-5 job. They probably don't get to see their kids before their kids are done with school. Kids are going to finish with their regular program. They'll be available, but the parents won't be there. So that gap, that afternoon gap, can be filled with daycare or sports and other activities. And then it leaves a mere 4.5 hours, I'll show you the math here on the screen, of potential time together. That doesn't account for cooking, chores, or any other things that are going on. So that is not a lot of time. And that's just K through 12. Once you get past high school, the amount of time that parents and kids will spend together just falls off a cliff. It just plummets. And at a college, it's the culture, our culture's best option is, that is, after high school, kids are going to spend their waking hours with someone other than their parents. It includes professors and administrators who may not hold the same type of views that you as the parents do. So there's a pretty good chance of that. Statistically, they're not aligned with the general population. So this setup where the kids are spending more time away from their parents than with them is robbing parents and children of their natural relationship. And it has real emotional and psychological consequences. One is the opportunity cost. So the missed conversations, the shared experiences, and the gradual building of trust. So just give an example. So our daughters, when they first got to college, their college peers were completely and genuinely shocked to learn that our daughters would actually talk to us. And the idea of talking to, let alone trusting their parents with things that are going on in their life, was a completely foreign concept to them. So that relationship and that trust is a huge opportunity cost. And second consequence is the actual harm. That strong parent-child bond is really critical to the child's growth and development. So when you're missing or weak in that, you have other real emotional and psychological issues that could come into play. Maybe it contributes to anxiety or low self-worth or depression. I'm not a medical advisor. I'm not saying anything definitive there, but there is material that talks about the benefits of strong parent-child bonds and what it means for their emotional and physical health. So the other thing is there's a more sinister type of impact. So nature abhors a vacuum, and when you separate parents from children, it opens the door for others to step in for their direction, support, and meeting. Again, this is not a bug in centrally designed education. It is a feature. It is intentional. Happy to show you the references on these things. It is not accident. It is no accident of breaking the parent-child bond in a collectivist, centralized academic setup. Again, this video is not meant to get into those philosophies, but it's real. And in the U.S., we have some schools who will actively work to supplant the parental authority and their values. There are many news reports of school administrators are supporting kids to do things like medical procedures and actively hide the process from parents. I think that's unconscionable, but it's true. It's not happening everywhere, but it is happening, and there are a lot of reports about it. So not all schools, certainly not all people in education, support those examples, but I'm just saying there's a risk that when your kid is spending more of their time, the more of their waking hours with other people other than their parents, that risk increases that those kind of things can happen. All right, that was kind of a heavy one.